said before, that the reason why members of parliament or more leadership are more of themselves is because how the electorates get them into the seat. You spend. We don't have people who go to FI and you don't have a brad on you're elected. Today, if I run with maybe with a small premium or a Pro Box, and there's somebody who comes with a V8 or a VXL, a VXL will be more considered. In fact, just brokers in the center, our local center will take me to be a joker, non-starter. So what do you expect from a member of parliament? If you tell somebody you need to get a VXL costs almost 11 million, or a second one goes for 5 million. What did you tell that person who spent over 20 million? I'm told even some members of parliament spent over 200 million to get into power. Governors spent over 500 million. I'm told when presidential elections are over 50 billion campaign. How do you expect those people to recover their money? They have to, the same people who are taxing will go through pain. But at times we are being told that the voters at times say, eri unipe sai, kwa sababu kishaingia unanisahau. Then we need to have, who needs to sacrifice? We need to see us who are electing leaders to sacrifice and say, this is the kind of character we are going to accept. Another thing I would say is constitution. We need to amend our constitution to empower parliament. I feel that members of parliament have been demeaned a bit by the current constitution we have, because the reason why you find members of parliament sleep in bed with the executive is because it's a very dangerous thing to be a member of parliament. You're very broke. Let me give you an example. And let's be honest. It's time we be honest so that there is delivery in this country. A member of parliament is paid like 535,000 shillings per month. Plus allowances is get to 1 million. So a member of parliament takes a loan against the 535. There is an expectation of a mwananchi in the ground. So you need to buy at least a Brado or a V8. So if you take a loan of almost 8 million and you take a mortgage for your house,
given car grants,
let me tell you,
loans for vehicles.
The guy grants you are given is almost 5 million. How much does an off-road car cost? A TX for 4 or 5 million cannot run in the village. You need a VXL of almost 11 million. You go for mortgage and so on. All the salary goes on. Today, do your own research. Most of parliaments gets less than 100,000 on their base slip. So they depend on allowances. That's why they have to go for, you would even find that there were members of parliament who goes to River Road to stamp their passports like they have traveled when there's a function outside, so that they make their money. If you tell today members of parliament to do their meetings in Nairobi, they will not support any government project. They either have to go to Naivasha, Mombasa, so that there's more allowances. What is the purpose for this one? It is to sustain the pressure in the ground. If you do another investigative information, you'll also realize when these members of parliament are voted out, they get broke because all their money went to the electorates again. It's the electorates who take a lot of money. But as we do not want to discuss that, we always put all problem on the leaders who have been elected. We need to be honest, because if we are going to be members of parliament and all we do is to have more than 30 RMPs per week, then we will not deliver. How does that person deliver? It means that member of parliament have to steal the CDF to sustain because if you send money to a certain burial today to support that family, how many burials happen in a week? You have to send to all families. How many children go to Australia or whatever abroad? You have to support them. How many brokers are on the ground? Maybe your opponent is there every day and they are fighting you. People try to cool the temperatures in the ground. And that is one thing that is very dangerous. We want to request us as Kenyans and every person, let us not become a motive in election. Let us become ideological. That today we choose to have certain kind of a leader, that we may have a better country tomorrow for ourselves and also for our children who are coming behind us. Lastly is this. We need also to change the Political Parties Act. Because today, if I'm elected under UDA, I cannot try to go against the UDA because it will discipline me. So it means there should be a room for a member of parliament to exercise independence. So some of the things that members of parliament do today, do it because there is something called disciplinary. We've seen it happening in ODM and other parties. The reason why you see all members of parliament from Ukambani supporting Rikiji, it's not that everyone loved Rikiji. Just because their leader called Kalonzo is against it. And if you try to go against it, there'll be a disciplinary. We've seen ODM voting against the finance bill. Why is it that they didn't vote against in favor of Rikiji this time round because Raila is in bed with the current government.
All right.
That is how leadership is.
Wow, very interesting. Some very sad conversations at times, but political nonetheless. We must have them. Going forward, issues around violence, issues around the IEBC, and the kind of images and scenes we are witnessing 3 years to election day. Should we expect more of the same? Thank you so much.